Hello and surprise to my American viewers. It is Friday where you are today instead of Thursday night. And this is me coming to you live from my red couch on Saturday morning in Auckland, New Zealand. If you haven't visited me on my red couch before, hello, my name is Toni Kenyon and I am a rock star and billionaire romance writer. And I come to my lovely bunch of viewers once a week from my trusty red couch here in New Zealand. So I am a day late today because I've had an interesting week. I explained to everybody last week that I was off to go and see a friend for the weekend, and that meant that I came home a day later than I was expecting. Well, no, I planned to come home on Monday, but I was quite tired when I got home, so I didn't do much work on Monday. So I've sort of crammed 5 days work into 4 days, which meant that I just simply ran out of energy yesterday to get to the red couch. And I was talking about family the week before and being overseas, and I had actually in my own defense, been to the airport at midnight to pick up my mum, who'd just come back from England. And it was about 2 a.m. by the time I got to bed. And of course, I have a cat and a dog who like to get up at the same time every day, better than an alarm clock. And so I didn't get much sleep. So I was a little bit fractious yesterday and perhaps would not have been my best on the lovely big red couch. So here I am today to chat about what has happened this week in my world and in Romancelandia, and generally what's going on. So there we are. Interesting to be doing this on a Saturday morning, not a Friday afternoon. So yes, Friday night in America. So you will all be winding down from your busy weeks and looking forward to a nice weekend. If you are at home by now and chilling out, it's lovely to see you. And I usually see most of you on the replay, and I'm sure that that's going to continue to be the case, so that is fine. And what I was thinking about what I'm going to talk about today, and as I said, I had a lovely weekend last weekend with a girlfriend, and we stayed in a camper van, and I will pop a picture of me sitting up on the top bunk in the camper van. For those of you who don't know what that is, I think you call them RVs. I tend to call them camper vans, and that's what you'll see them described as in all of my rock star romances, because it's pretty much what I know. And it's really interesting living in a little space, and I really enjoyed it. And what I enjoyed, I think, more than anything was the fact that in the mornings we just pulled the blinds back and there was just rolling surf, like not very far away. And it was a beautiful weekend, lots of people out surfing, and it's just so revitalizing, and you know, I get so much renewal just from being out of my own home environment, as much as I hate going, as I've said, you know, shared with you often before, that whole anxiety rubbish that I suffer from. But I got in the car and I drove for 3.5 hours, and I had a wonderful time when I got there, and I really, really did enjoy it. And, you know, I come home refreshed and full of more ideas and things like that. And I think that's what's so important about getting out of your daily slog and going and doing something different. Because then I think too, when you come home, you appreciate what you've got, and you appreciate the people that are in your life, just because you've stepped out of it for a little while. And I guess that's the idea of having a holiday, coming home and feeling refreshed and revitalized and all those sort of things. So there you are. So I'll pop that photo in the red couch group so that you can have a look at me sitting on the top of the bunk where I was sleeping, which yeah, fascinating experience. I love tiny houses as well, and I always think it'd be really nice to have a tiny house. And then I look at the size of my home, and I look at the size even of our recording studio, and I think, where the hell would we put all that in a tiny house? But maybe, you know, I'm working on a little bit of minimalism, which for a hoarder, somebody who's naturally a hoarder and finds it really hard to let things go, is a work in progress. So being in the small space was nice. But it is, of course, then nice to come back to the expanse of the home and the garden and all those sorts of things. So that was my weekend. The other thing I was thinking about was that a lot of you have been asking about the non-fiction writing that I've been doing, because I've talked a few times about the non-fiction writing that I'm doing. So I'll leave a link below for you to go and have a look at another website that I have called Life, Love and Lettuce. And it may be interesting to some of you and it may not be, and that's fine. But what it's about pretty much is I'm trying to bring the threads of my life together. And, you know, I love my garden, which is kind of the lettuce part, the good, healthy eating that I'm doing. And obviously the love is the romance writing that I just adore and has been such a massive part of my life and has been such a healing part of my life as well, being able to share stories of happiness and hope. And the life part's kind of about pulling all that together and about trying to organize life. And that was what I was talking about with the minimalism and the trying to bring order and structure into life. And so many of you know that I'm an alcoholic who's been in recovery for nearly 20 years now. And as an aside, I have a fiction book about that called Pushing Up Daisies, which I'll leave the link in the comment as well, in the comments as well, for you to have a look at if you're interested in anything like that. And that was a very cathartic thing for me to write about, to deal with recovering from my own disease and what I put my family through. And so I've been trying to bring all these threads of my life back together and trying to take ownership of all these various aspects of my life. And that's why I felt like Life, Love and Lettuce was a good reflection of that, which is why I have put it together. And I blog once or twice a week on organization, and I'm big on gratitude. You know, gratitude is my go-to for happiness. If I'm grateful about things, and I try and be grateful about things every day. And what I learned in the long time it took me to get well was that gratitude is a big foundation of my life, and it's what keeps me having a positive attitude to life and bringing happiness in towards me, and keeping out the negative things that we're bombarded with so much. And so I work really hard to reduce the amount of negativity in my life. So if you're interested, that's what it's all about. And yeah, so I'll leave the links, and you can make your own decision about that. And if you think that there's anybody else out there that may benefit from that, please forward the link to them so that they can take a look. So that tells you now the other thing that I've been working on as well, you know. And it's been really nice for me to work on dealing with my fictional characters, who I think Ben's sulking. I've talked about Ben before, but I honestly think he's sulking because I've been doing this work over here and he thinks I should have all my attention on him. And anyway, we'll get there. We will get Ben's story written and out before the end of the year, I promise you. If I have to drag him kicking and screaming to the page, he will cooperate, and we will finish his story, because I want to do that. So I've got, you know, a few things juggling in the air at the moment, which is good. And it's really nice to be able to write fiction, which uses a certain part of my brain, and then write non-fiction, which is like, it's like having one of those cleansing palettes between a meal, so that, you know, I can then come back to the fiction and feel refreshed because it's using a different part of my brain, and then come back to the non-fiction and organize things again. And it's nice. I like balance. I've lived for far too long without balance in my life, and it's nice now to be able to feel like I'm trying to find some balance. So that's what's been going on for me this week. And I've just realized that I've been doing these weekly broadcasts now for 27 weeks, which is, you know, amazing for me. So I'm really looking forward to getting to 30 and then to 50 and then seeing where we go. And it's lovely to see your comments. And as always, you know, I love the hearts, so press the hearts. And if you're viewing me on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. That would be lovely as well. So it's really nice to feel a connection with you through this medium. And I hope that you're enjoying it. And please leave me hearts and tell me what you're doing this weekend. If you're doing anything at all, you might just be chilling out like I did last weekend. except for the large amount of driving that I did. And have fun, whatever you're doing. Tell somebody that you love them. Take care of yourself. And take a few minutes to practice some gratitude for the wonderful, loving people in your life who want to share the joy. So take care. I will see you again soon. I will see you again next week. And don't forget to go and check on that photo, because I will go and post it right now so that you can see it. Take care, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for stopping in. Bye-bye.